In ServiceNow system, you have to understand two things clearly. In ServiceNow system, you have to understand two things clearly. One is actually client, and another one is server. You will be hearing these two words continuously in ServiceNow. These two words, you will be hearing it in these two words, you will be hearing it a lot. Client, server. So what is client? What is server? You have to understand these two terms clearly. Okay. So here, let me just go to the personal developer instance. In the personal developer instance, let me open one incident form and one incident list. In this form, okay, I am opening one user form as well. User form and user list. Okay, this is actually user form. Okay, here guys, I am just creating a account, user account. Uday, Uday Kishore, Uday Kishore, and Uday@gmail.com. Okay, okay. Now guys, now these values are only on the form. These values are not there in the, these values are not stored in the database. These values are still there on the form. You can see these values are still there on the form. Okay, Uday Kishore, Uday@gmail.com. Now, once you saved this one, okay, once you saved this one, these values will be stored into the server. This list is a server. You can see. So now you can see, you can tell me this value is there in the server or not. This Uday value is there in the server or not. Hmm? This Uday@gmail.com value is there in the server or not. So what I mean to say is all forms are clients. All forms are clients. Now you tell me guys, I'm just entering here Uday Kishore Gadi. Okay, this Kishore Gadiparthi is there in the database or not? You tell me. This Kishore Gadiparthi is there only on the client. It is there only on the client. Once you save this one, this will go to server. Now you see here, this will go to server now. Uday Kishore Gadiparthi. Okay. So I'm just opening another form again. I'm just opening in another form. Okay. I'm just entering Prudvi name. I'm just entering Prudvi name here. Prudvi Raj. That means this Prudvi value, these values now only are there in the client. These values are only there on the client, guys. These values are not there on the server. Once I saved this one, these values will go to server. Okay. These values will go to server. So Raju Chauhan. So this Raju Chauhan is there in the database or not? This is there only on the client. Once you save this one, it will go to server. So likewise, guys, all forms are clients. Okay. All forms are clients. Okay. All forms are clients. If you go to the incident form, so you are filling all these details. You are filling all these details here. Okay. So now these values are only on the client. Once you save this one, the values will go to server 10166. You see here, the 10166. These values are actually stored in the server. You're getting my point. So here I am selecting service as IT service. This IT service value is there in the client or server? You tell me here. This IT service is there in the client or server? You tell me now. It is there on the client. Okay. So once you save this one, it will go to server. It will go to server. So all forms are actually clients, guys. All forms are actually clients. Okay. So here, now you are entering a value here. This value is there in the client or server, you tell me. This phone value is there in the client or server, you tell me. It is there on the client. Once you save this one, it will go to server. Okay, all forms are clients, guys. Okay, you can consider form as client. Okay, so this list is actually a server. This list is actually a server, guys. Okay, in the list, all the values are stored here, right? Do you understand what is client and what is server? Okay, the value which is not stored in the database means it's there in the client. The value which is stored in the database means that is a client, that is a server value. You are getting my point. So you can say all forms are clients. You can say all forms are clients. Getting my point? Okay. Now you tell me this inquiry value is there in the client or server. This inquiry value is there in the client or server. Hmm? You tell me, guys, answer me. This inquiry value is there in the client or server. Very good answer, guys. Just give me a moment. Okay, fine. So you all understand the client. So you can consider all forms are clients. You can consider all forms are clients. Okay. You can consider all lists are actually server. You can consider all lists are servers. You can consider all forms are clients. Okay. So here we have learned JavaScript. Okay, we have learned JavaScript. JavaScript. Okay. Well, here in the client side, we have client side APIs in ServiceNow. These client side APIs are actually only for ServiceNow related APIs. So these client side APIs are ServiceNow related APIs. So we will use client side APIs plus JavaScript. Okay, in the server side, we will use server side APIs plus JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript is common in both client and server. Guys, in the client side, we will use client side APIs plus JavaScript. In the server side, we will use server side APIs plus JavaScript. We don't use server side APIs in the client. We don't use client side APIs in the server. Remember, guys, you have to remember this point. Okay, in the client side, we have client side APIs plus JavaScript. In the server side, you have server side APIs plus JavaScript. In the server side, you have server side APIs plus JavaScript. Okay, we have server side APIs plus JavaScript. These server side APIs, you cannot use it in the client side. This client side APIs, you cannot use it in the server side. Okay. Okay. Well, here, guys, in the client side means scripting areas. So UI policies is a client side. Okay, UI policies, client scripts, UI actions, client side UI actions. Client side UI actions, UI pages, UI macros comes under client. Okay. So UI policies, client scripts, client side UI actions, UI pages, UI macros. So in these areas, you can use client side APIs plus JavaScript. Okay, in these areas, you can use client side APIs plus JavaScript. So when it comes to the server means business rules. Business rules. Script includes scheduled jobs. Scheduled jobs. Script includes scheduled jobs. Email scripts. Email scripts. Script actions. ACLs. Workflows. Flow designers. Comes under server. So these are actually server side script area. This is a script area. This is a server side script area. So here you can use only server side APIs plus JavaScript. These are actually client side. This is a client side script area. Script area where you can write the script. Here you can use client side APIs plus JavaScript. Here you can use server side APIs plus JavaScript. You cannot use this client side APIs in the script area. You cannot use the server side APIs in the client side script area. You are getting my point. You are getting my point, guys. Everyone. Okay. So we have client-side scripting areas. These are actually client-side scripting areas. Though in the scripting areas, we can use client-side APIs plus JavaScript. Okay. We have server-side scripting area. These are server-side scripting areas where you can use server-side APIs plus JavaScript. Okay. We will now quickly start with the client-side APIs. So in the client-side APIs, we have glide user, glide form, glide ajax, glide ajax, glide model, glide model form, glide list. Okay, glide list. So these are actually some of the client-side APIs. Okay, a glide dialog window, glide flow. Okay, glide navigation, glide scratch pad. These are client-side APIs. Okay, these client-side APIs plus JavaScript. This client-side APIs plus JavaScript, you can use it in the client-side scripts. Okay, you're getting my point. You're getting my point. So we have client side and server side. Okay. So client side, we have some scripting areas. In the client side scripting area, you can use client side APIs plus JavaScript. In the server side scripting areas, these are server side scripting areas. Here you can use server side APIs plus JavaScript. So before you go to these areas, first of all, you have to understand client side APIs. Then you have to go to these areas. And before you go to server side areas, you have to understand server side APIs. Server side APIs. So we have just begin with the client side APIs. We have glide user, glide form, glide ajax, glide model, glide model form, mm, glide model, glide model form, glide list, glide dialog window, glide flow, glide navigation, glide scratchpad. So all these are actually client side APIs. All these are client side APIs. So you have to understand about these APIs. So these APIs plus JavaScript, we can combination of these two, we will use it in the client side script. Combination of these two, we will be using in the client side script. And after that, we'll be learning server side APIs. Server side APIs plus JavaScript. Combination of these two, we will use it in the server side scripting areas. You understand, right? Everyone. Guys, I'm not able to continue the session because I'm feeling headache. Okay. Okay. I'll have to consult the doctor, guys. Okay. I'll update you. I'll keep you posted. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.